Hello and good morning. Right, what we're going to do today is we're going to be doing double processing image with a smart object. So it sounds really intense, but what we're going to do is not that intense. Here goes a picture up, and we have a model here in a rather nice symmetrical position. What we're going to do today is we're going to touch on a lot of different issues. One of the issues, paramount, is going to be masking and how masking works. Masking we first come across in this interface here, the camera raw interface, and we actually find on the detail slider. And if you go to the first part, we've got sharpening, and then we've got a thing called masking. Now, that's the first thing that's going to show us what masking is all about. It's going to reset these sliders back to 0 so we can see the images that came out the thing, and reset these to 0, reset this to 0. Right, that's out the camera. Here we go. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to double process this. Then we're going to process it twice. Why do I want to do that? It's got to do with the skin. Process this image twice. Using the sliders, I can actually create one a soft layer for the skin and the other a sharp layer for the eyes and the hair and the lips. And that's what we're going to do today. But in that, we're going to learn how masking works. And we're going to break it up into smaller sections so we can play sections that we need to look at without having to fast forward and rewind too much. This will be the first section, how masking works in Camera Raw. Right, so what we're going to do here is we're just going to first go and just set the image up and repair it, what we call the corrections that the camera would take out. And initially what we've done, you see the auto key, sometimes it works, trust me, sometimes it doesn't, but you'll know when it doesn't. So I'm going to do this just so you can see what Adobe thought here. They're looking at increasing exposure, dropping the contrast a bit, speaking of the skin as well then. The highlights and the whites and shadows, histogram is so good, don't worry about that. And they just drop the blacks a bit. I'm going to go back to default and let's analyze that quickly. There is a range right from the blacks to the whites, so we've got a good dynamic range, and the image looks pretty good from that aspect. I would like to increase the exposure of her, so I would also go and take up the exposure. This area here is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at trying with the highlights to improve that, and then again with the whites to improve it even a little bit further. And I've got the bounding box on here. There's only a clipping on the finger, but that's what we call a secular highlight, a reflection of the sun. We're not going to worry about that because you can't pull it back in any case. Knowing that the first image that we're going to process is going to be for the skin, I'm just going to kind of focus on her face. And that'll allow us to not worry too much about the rest of the image. I'm just going to go back one step here, I think. Make it about 100. So we've just got the face in view here. Here we go. And just looking at that, I can now move my sliders a bit easier just towards the face. So I don't have to worry about too much about the other aspects. As I pull the blacks towards the left-hand side, so the structure of the face comes more out. So I'm going to actually put the other way to counteract that. What we're going to see, I haven't touched the clarity slide yet. That's the main one we're going to play with today. Purely because I want to let us understand why. This image area here really tight, and now we're going to the slider called the detail slide. So third slider, third tab. And what it does is corrects these blotches that we see. Now we've got two types of blotches. The green, yellow, mushy stuff, and then the look like snow. The green, yellow, mushy stuff, that is the color one. And pretty easy, just drag up the slider and it disappears. So that's as far as you go. The second one, the luminous slider, is pretty much the same. Just drag it, and as it disappears, you'll stop wherever it does. I tend not to go over the detail. As you can see, I've actually started this one back to front. They obviously get sharpening first and then noise reduction. My workflow suits it to go from the bottom slider to the top slider. Right, now we're going to look at the sharpening aspect of it. And this is where we're going to see, I'm just going to move over to the eyes so we've got something to work with here. This is where we're going to see the how the masking works, how the first introduction to masking. I'm just going to take a slider up and it's going to apply a whole lot of sharpening and makes it really look drastic. But it allows us to show us how masking works. Okay, now as I hold the masking slider, I'm going to do something interesting. Either on a command on a Mac or also on a PC. When I hold on the masking slider and I hold down the Alt key, the whole image goes white. So you're only seeing the eye go white. I'm going to quickly zoom out. I'm going to do it again. Hold on the white, and everything goes white. That means that application of the amount of sharpening is applied to the whole image. As I drag it to the right, so black appears. Now, where it's black, that means that no application is taking place. And the application of the amount of the sharpening is only taking place on the white line. Okay, we're going to zoom in over here because this is kind of sort of the paramount over here. And what we can see is there's the sharpening. I'll just turn it on and off so you can see it. Take it off, put it back on again. And it allows you to see it's only taking effect on the edge and not on the rest of the image. I'm actually going to set it almost to about 60 because I was only done in 90 to show you the aspect of sharpening. And I'm just going to zoom out again. And this is the first part that we've now started, and I'm just going to finish up, and we're just going to zoom in the face again, and now we can go back to the clarity slider. The reason being why I didn't start with the clarity slider is that, and I first went to the detail sliders, the tabs, is that if I use the clarity here, I won't be able to see the noise correctly. Now, as I drag this back, I know I'm only working on the skin, and I sort of soften the skin. I hit the preview on and off. Very soft skin. Beautiful. Right. This we're going to take into Photoshop by saying open object. And then we'll hit pause so we can take part 2. Here it opens in Photoshop slowly. And I'll hit pause while I come back for the second part.